Well, it simply is must-win settings for Chelsea here. 8th versus 6th. And after Manchester United got the business done against Manchester City in a 3-0 victory at Old Trafford, Chelsea simply have to win. There is no two ways around this. We have to get the job done. I cannot believe we are reaching this stage where a game against Brentford is must-win settings. But such has been the December and January that we have had so far. Victories have been few and far between as Liam Rossinier showed a bit of a heroic courage against Arsenal in the 3-2 defeat in the first leg of the Carabao Cup semi-finals. But Chelsea are under the pump and pretty much knocked out of that tournament unless something special happens at the Emirates Stadium. Chelsea looking for a win in the Premier League here, which has just evaded us for the longest time. A terrible December, an even worse January by the looks of it. It's been points that we can take against Manchester City. That loss against Fulham was particularly damaging, but there's an opportunity here to go above Brentford, put the pressure on Liverpool and Manchester United. As it stands, United are 4 points ahead. Can you believe it? Despite all the problems that they've had, they're finding themselves in a very good situation here. Brentford are a mean team, and under Keith Andrews, they have excelled and soared forward. And we're off and running at the start of kickoff here at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea going with the back four of Mark Cucurella, Tosin Adarabioyo, Trevor Chalobah and Reece James. Midfield pairing of Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo. Cole Palmer in the number 10 with Pedro Neto and Alejandro Garnacho on the flanks. And in the forward area we have Joao Pedro. Got a lot of players missing, so Liam Rossinier will have to manage his resources very carefully and be spot on tactically. There's absolutely no way that we can drop points here. Even a draw is very damaging and could finish off our hopes of trying to get Champions League football for next season. We were 3 points behind Arsenal in the end of November. The league's pretty much gone, even from Manchester City's point of view, as Brentford in the early stages here. In the box, it's a decent strike. I think that's Kevin Schade from the left-hand side. It's a shot on target for Brentford. Decent start, but once again, Chelsea lose that midfield duel. Janelt and Yamuchuk in that midfield pairing will cause Chelsea a lot of discomfort, that's for sure. In Arsenal in the end of November, we found ourselves in a situation where every game is so critical. How we got ourselves in this position, we'll never know. But it's a new position now for Reece James back as that traditional right back. Joao Pedro, our top scorer, trying to get away from the trouble here. Immediately picks up the pass and feeds it onto the left-hand side for Alejandro Garnacho, who got a brace against Arsenal to keep us in that tie. Garnacho loses his balance. Very much shoddy play there from Alejandro Garnacho. Well, not the best 1v1 dribbler, but does find goals at the back stick, and that's something that we will need a lot of going forward here. Goals are absolutely critical from our wingers. Esteval played 90 minutes. He was absolutely brilliant against Jurrien Timber. No surprise that he's on the bench after doing the 90-minute shift at Stamford Bridge. Trevor Chalobah. What a shrewd acquisition he has been from Liverpool. Brentford's defence is a mean one as Tosin loses out yet another duel. He's had a shocking start here. Once again, it's Kevin Schade on the right-hand side. Finds Jensen. Clever clip pass here. Real trouble for Chelsea. Oh, somehow Igor Thiago is waiting for a tap-in at the back stick. This has not been a good start here for Chelsea. It's been hard work as Brentford are finding decent positions in the early stages. Chelsea have to lock in here. Again, those long balls forward. Tosin has been drafted into this team to win aerial headers, and if he can't do that, you have to question what his purpose is in the team. And every time we start Tosin and Chalobah, it is really nervous settings for Chelsea. Coyote. Van Zijer. Now to the captain Collins. And very interesting to see the Brentford setup here with Janelt and Yamuchuk. Jensen as the possible number 10, but we will see him drop into the pockets. As for Damsgaard, he is such a dangerous player, an elite passer of the ball. He can cause us all sorts of problems here. Joao Pedro, Enzo Fernandez. Fernandez was excellent against Arsenal for most of the game. It's another pass into the channel. Trevor Chalobah showcases his pace against Igor Thiago. 16 Premier League goals. the only one keeping pace with Erling Haaland for the Golden Boot. He's a deadly finisher. Every time he's got an opportunity, it almost feels like he is going to find the back of the net. Such has been the efficiency of the Brazilian. Chelsea haven't really gotten going in the early stages. And we saw Andre Santos, and again, Trevor Chalobah loses the header. This could be really problematic for Chelsea. And it's not just Igor Thiago who's winning the balls in the air. It's even Damsgaard. That is absolutely unacceptable. Skipper Reece James back into the right back spot under Enzo Maresca. Turned into an absolutely elite midfielder. But that is Reece James in a nutshell. Put him anywhere on the pitch and he will deliver. Joao Pedro to Pedro Neto. No Jamie Gittins in the squad. I think him and Liam Delap are still ill. Hope to get them back for action as quickly as possible. We really need to beef up our bench. Another long punt forward. Comfortably defended by Coyote. Not a good header there by Joao Pedro. And again, Brentford looking far too comfortable in the early stages. These are ominous signs. Here's Ayer. Finds Collins. And Cole Palmer back in the starting 11. Playing as that number 10. See which kind of position that he does end up picking up, either on the right or on the left. Either way, Chelsea have to be pretty much spot on here. Up against the side, Brentford, who are pretty much punching above their weight in brilliant fashion. Nobody expected Keith Andrews aside. After losing their manager, Brian Mbeumo, they've lost some other key players. That's nicely done here. Enzo Fernandez feeds that to Alejandro Garnacho. I like to see Enzo and Garnacho on the same side because Enzo's connection with Alejandro Garnacho is very good. Here's Moises Caicedo. Finally served all his suspensions. Now we need him fit for the massive run in here. That's a terrible pass by Pedro Neto. I mean, that is Pedro Neto in a nutshell, man. Really poor IQ as Garnacho flings this ball into the box. Cleared away. Kevin Schade helping out defensively. The German does well. Here's Rico Henry, the Jamaican. And Brentford, not afraid to play out the back, but Chelsea win the ball back. Here's Chalobah. Finds Caicedo. James. And now Pedro Neto. Joao Pedro. Pedro Neto again. Terrible touch. Again, this time from Cole Palmer. And Chelsea's attacking instinct has not been as smooth in the early stages. Chalobah and Tosin give me so much stress. I cannot tell you. Here's Pedro Neto now. On the right hand side. Cross comes into the box. Cleared away with ease. Cole loses out. Moises Caicedo tries to pinch it. Nicely done by Yamuchuk. Rico Henry just decides to thump that forward. Chelsea are 2v1 in that situation. Chalobah does well. Very even game at the bridge, and it is never a good sign when teams come to the bridge and look comfortable. That's when you know Chelsea might really struggle in the 90 minutes, and if Brentford decide to lock things down with a deep block, Chelsea will have more and more problems to try and deal with. Coyote will take the throw in here. And throw in taken, really flung in with pace. Good header there by Tosin. Shifts that header by Janelt. Again on to the left hand side. Again, Brentford looking very comfortable here. Keeps the ball onto the left hand side. Now trying to just step up the tempo here. Cross comes into the box. Headed away by Tosin again. Well, that's why Tosin is in the team here. Brentford are going to keep slinging balls into the box and make things uncomfortable for the centre halves. And clip pass into the channel. Schade is running. Was that Kevin Schade who scored in the 92nd minute in this reverse fixture at the Vitality Stadium? I think it was. Chelsea were 2-1 up after that Moises Caicedo thumper in the 80th minute or so. Cole Palmer got his first Premier League goal after just coming on immediately. Here's Coyote. Down the right hand side. Again, Jensen is operating as that number 10, but we expect him to be that third man in midfield. That's for sure. Again, looking for the switch, but it's an ambitious pass and out for a throw-in. Reverse fixture at the Vitality Stadium. I think it... Chelsea haven't gotten going whatsoever in the opening stages. Again, that midfield pairing of Enzo and Caicedo absolutely critical in terms of control. And Joao Pedro now playing the number 10 position, the number 9 position today. So it is absolutely imperative that we get him in positions where he can score goals and not be turning in our own box instead. I saw them doing that against us. A lot of his good work came on the half turn. And points dropped and Chelsea will slip further down the table. Cannot expect that, and cannot expect Chelsea to go on such barren runs after Enzo Maresca won Manager of the Month in November. So much has happened since. Again, Tosin trying to play out the back in really lackadaisical style. The Chelsea's build-up against Arsenal was absolutely terrible for most parts of that game. It's something that we were absolutely elite under Enzo Maresca. It's a different shape, it's a different structure. And long punt forward. Lovely touch there by Joao Pedro. Again, that midfield is absolutely vacant from Chelsea. Oh, Garnacho chance. And Kelleher clears. A lot of absolutely nothing. Chelsea nearly pinch a goal. Good poacher-like instincts there from Alejandro Garnacho. That pass from Collins is suicidal. He's left it short, and Kelleher. Can Chelsea with a chance here? Oh, it might be a pen. It isn't. Well, Enzo Fernandez feeds the ball to Joao Pedro. Joao Pedro has gone down in a heap there. Chelsea win the ball back. They'll have to have a look at the challenge there. Enzo Fernandez did very well to slip Joao Pedro there. Referee quickly waved that out. And there's another Chelsea player on the deck here. I think that is Moises Caicedo. Yep, he's testing out his knee. Joao Pedro getting back onto his feet gingerly. They'll have a look at this. Enzo Fernandez does very well here. Joao Pedro's run is so clever. He is onside. I think the touch is off the ball first. Look at the trajectory of the ball. Ooh, you know what? He might have clipped him, you know. I think he has. Joao Pedro gets his heels tapped. I don't think they're going to have a look here. I think Brentford survive. I mean, that is a decent shot for a pen, I'm not going to lie. Don't want cheap decisions for us, but could have been a pen any other day. Just a clip on the ankles of Joao Pedro. And Chelsea have to be clinical going forward here. Liam Rossignol, the opening 10 or so minutes, not be utterly pleased with this performance so far. He talked about how he wants teams to fear coming to Stamford Bridge. I mean, that is the master plan. It's going to take time. And Chelsea hitting the refresh button, the reset button on the project. Jeremy Jacquet is being lined up as a potential centre-back option. Ren centre-back should give us a bit more cover there, because our centre-back options with Fofana, Achimpong, both not available. With Chalobah and Tosin, every time we go into games with those two, we end up on the losing side. Again, Brentford causing us problems with the direct play, and it's a corner for them. Again, there has to be pressure on the ball. Chelsea are allowing balls to be floated into the channel or into the box with such ease. Jensen will take this corner. Well, Chelsea conceded in the 7th minute at home to Ben White. Rob Sanchez, hugely culpable for both goals that we did concede. Flapped at one of the crosses and made an absolute meal of one of the balls into the box for Gyökeres to score. Again, this is a real mismatch between Ayer and Pedro Neto. I'll never understand why our big players do not pick up the centre halves. Again, they're almost just marking space. That is so dangerous with Collins and Ayer. Really powerful in the air. And Chelsea making it difficult for Brentford to get a free run here. Trevor Chalobah fighting with Yamuchuk as the ball into the box. Flick on header over the crossbar and out for a goal kick. Once again, Chelsea don't defend that situation well. Enzo Fernandez just making himself a nuisance to make sure that they didn't get a free header. Here's Marc Cucurella. We're going to see him as a traditional left back today. Again, positions from our fullbacks have been a lot more inverted under Enzo Maresca. Sanchez deciding to go long. Curious decision, but the chase is on here. Pedro Neto has the pace. That's a brilliant pass by Rob Sanchez. Neto to Cole Palmer. Just over. First shot in anger there for Chelsea, and it falls to our number 10. That is Route 1 football there with Sanchez with a lovely ball to Pedro Neto. Neto immediately finds Palmer, who's playing on that right-hand side half space. Just looks to curl that into the top corner. Too much purchase on it from Palmer. We need a goal from Cole. Scored against Everton almost a month ago. Chelsea's only real success in the league in the last couple of months. Terrible December. January hasn't been any better. And into the 15th minute, Brentford looking pretty comfortable. Kelleher finds Christopher Ayer. Again, long punt forward. Thiago the target. He gets there. Heavy touch. Has he prevented the goal kick and conceded a throw-in? I think he has. There you go, Thiago. He's going to be a real handful for us, that's for sure. Makes his presence known as a fighter. He's a scrapper. And men in front of goal, he is cold as ice. And this is where I do not want to see Enzo Fernandez. He should not be pressing the goalkeeper. Keep the midfield shape here. Tosin. Again, came off the centre-back. Tosin's had a busy start already in the 15 minutes. He's going to have to be strong and powerful. But there you go, Thiago. And Stanley and Stewart, our sporting directors, who have come under a lot of criticism, and rightfully so, for all the moves that they've made this summer. Almost felt like Chelsea were building in the right direction, and if you have a terrible window, you can be in real trouble. You can undo all that good work. Here's Garnacho. Then looks to just feed that down the left-hand side. And Chelsea need to be a bit more braver on the ball, that's for sure. Have to take risks. Longer this stays 0-0, the Stamford Bridge crowd will start to hear murmurs, that's for sure. I have to apologize for my stream here. I understand that it isn't the best today. Maybe an internet issue that I have to solve. Yes, Reece James finds Cole Palmer. And Reece in the middle of the park. Clever pass. Enzo Fernandez, beautiful first touch. Shifts it on to Alejandro Garnacho down the left-hand side. Here's Garnacho. Well closed down by Coyote. It's a corner for Chelsea. Coyote quickly into the passing lane where Garnacho was. "17 minutes on the clock. Chelsea have been pretty decent in set pieces. Brendan Cueva, our set piece coach. Cole. Caicedo, back to Palmer. Caicedo again. Here's Alejandro Garnacho. Chelsea pretty much waste that corner. There's Sanchez taking an advanced position. Saw Mike Penders for Strasbourg, where Liam Rossignol almost used him as a centre-back. It's a brilliant pass by Sanchez again. His pings have been absolutely delicious. Here's Neto on the left-hand side. Cole Palmer surveys his options, finds Cucurella. Now Caicedo, better possession here from Chelsea in the Brentford half. Reece James. It's a heavy pass there. A little too much for Garnacho, and it's a goal kick for Brentford. Tottenham Hotspur are down 1-0 to West Ham. Liverpool drawing 0-0. At home against Burnley, we expect Liverpool to take all 3 points. It just shows you how critical it is for Chelsea to take all 3 points today. Oh, Caicedo caught in a problematic area there. Chelsea again, so shoddy in the midfield area. Hasn't been a comfortable watch for us. It really has been. Tough viewing. Shifts it on to the left-hand side into the 20th minute. Good defending there by Moises Caicedo, tracking the run of Damsgaard. Caicedo. Again, our build-up really is struggling, man. It really has been poor. We don't look in control. Not good signs early on for Liam Rosenior's side. Started off with that 5-1 victory against Charlton away. Brentford maneuver the ball nicely. Good win in midfield, and Chelsea on the break. Once again, look at Joao Pedro's positioning. He's so deep here. He needs to be the focal point for us. Garnacho finds Enzo Fernandez. Chelsea very much not looking to dominate here. It's a new structure, a new shape. 20 minutes on the clock, 0-0 at the bridge. Almost feels like if we drop points, the race for Champions League is over from our point of view. Again, Joao Pedro, the half turn in the midfield area, loses out. Thiago gets the ball to Stake to find Kevin Schade. It's a brilliant first touch. Oh, he leaves him in the desk. Oh, might be an own goal. Somehow Chelsea survive. Luck rather than judgment. Oh my word, Chelsea's defense all at sea there. Somehow the ball stays out. Kevin Schade, I thought he scored there. Trevor Chalobah sells himself so easily. Poor defending there from the Englishman. Here's Garnacho down the left-hand side. This has not been a good first half so far. Cole Palmer. We really are struggling, and Brentford are getting into very good areas. That should have been 1-0 to Brentford. Somehow we survive. Here's Enzo Fernandez. Almost feels like it has to be a hit-and-run kind of game for Chelsea. Here's Garnacho on the outside. Very predictable. Chance for Joao Pedro, but he's off balance. Better ball there by Alejandro Garnacho. Again, we have to look at the chance that Brentford created here. Again, Thiago makes the ball stick. Look at Tosin's positioning. It's criminal. Chalobah sells himself. We're in no man's land. That could have been an own goal. Somehow Sanchez saves Tosin. And, I mean, Liam Rosenior, if he continues to pick Tosin and Trevor Chalobah, I'm sorry, but questions will have to be asked. Again, Schade has to score, man. Why doesn't he pull the trigger? He does the unselfish task of squaring it to Janelt, but that should have been 1-0 to Brentford. They've had the better opportunities. They've had the better looks. Chelsea, poor. Here's Garnacho down the left-hand side. He's been up against Coyote on multiple occasions halfway through the first half. Enzo Fernandez. Terrible pass. Chalobah's cushion header. Then Tosin has to be touch tight to Thiago at all times, especially when Chelsea don't have the ball. It is a non-negotiable, and if Tosin can't do that, get him off. It's as simple as that. Here's Pedro Neto. Chelsea's quality really lacking. I mean, Garnacho, Neto, Chalobah, Tosin. Are we going to get anywhere with these four players? Questions have to be asked. Here's Reese. Finds Rob Sanchez. Massive reason as to why this is still 0-0. Again, look at Joao Pedro's positioning, man. He is our number 10. He's in our own half trying to link up. Sanchez goes long. Cucurella further forward. Cushion header to Moises Caicedo. Cucurella again. Now to Garnacho down the left-hand side. Here's Alejandro Garnacho. Goes on the inside. It's a terrible pass. Such a poor pass. I mean, look at that pass there from Garnacho, man. He really is a poor footballer. Chelsea win the ball back as Damsgaard was closed down. Here's Moises Caicedo now. Finds Cole Palmer. Chelsea looking very lackadaisical here. No such intensity. Neto, again waiting for support. I don't understand why they're 2v1 here. Oh, they've lost the ball again. Chance for Brentford. Try and punch forward. Chelsea win the ball back high up the pitch. Here's Enzo Fernandez. Enzo, again, he's tried to thread the pass. His passing has been really poor. Again, the midfield area is so vacant for us. It's so easy for Damsgaard. Look at him, without pressure, Schade. And it's Joao Pedro who's helping out defensively. Liam Rossini, get a grip, man. This cannot come. This cannot continue. Well, yes, we've got a novice manager, but my word, Chelsea are looking like a novice team out there. Joao Pedro is doing more defensive work than anything forward. Enzo Fernandez's passing has been really poor. Caicedo is left on his own in the midfield area. We saw Andre Santos and Enzo Fernandez were really touched, almost like their distances were managed so well. Today it's been completely the opposite. Fernandez is just flying forward. Moises Caicedo is left by his lonesome. Chelsea have had a terrible start to this first half. I wouldn't even say start, it's 25 minutes on the clock. Tosin fires the ball to Cole Palmer, brings that down nicely. Here's Enzo Fernandez, shifts down to the left-hand side. Here's Garnacho. Once again, 1v1 against Coyote. Garnacho, Enzo Fernandez loses the ball again. I mean, Fernandez is having an absolute stinker here, but he's won the ball back. It's Joao Pedro. It's 1-0 to Chelsea, but the offside flag has been raised. It's a cracking finish by Joao Pedro, but the celebrations have been immediately cut short. What a strike that was from Joao Pedro on his weaker left foot. Could and should have been his 7th goal. Let's have a look whether or not it is truly offside. And Enzo Fernandez does very well. Puts the pressure. Ooh, this might be very, very tight. I think the last touch has come off Coyote. Is that offside? I'm not really sure. No, it is from Enzo Fernandez. So it's not the last touch of Coyote, so we'll have to draw the lines and really hope that VAR is kind to us. That was a thumping finish by Joao Pedro. They're going to have a look. This is really close. Coyote just might be playing him on side. Oof, this is really tight. I think Joao Pedro might be on here. This could go either way. Joao Pedro having a look, having a check. Again, a fortuitous goal. A fortuitous Enzo Fernandez assist by the looks of it. Chelsea needing all the luck that we can here. Just draw the lines. Let's have a look. They're not going to check. Not going to have us look, but the first touch was brilliant. The finish, wow. Really was a thumper. Hits that with such pace. And the goal's been given. Joao Pedro scores for Chelsea. And out of absolutely nothing, Chelsea have a lead at the bridge. Joao Pedro with a tremendous strike on his weaker left foot. One touch to get it out, and the second to thump it past Kelleher. And Brentford will feel that they've been hard done by here. Enzo Fernandez with an assist. Inadvertent assist, but we'll absolutely take it. Well, that strike really did deserve a goal because of the quality of the hit. Liam Rossini gets his first goal at the bridge in the Premier League for Chelsea as the boss, and it's Joao Pedro. Cracking finish that. And finally Chelsea have something to celebrate about. Our Brazilian, who's done all of his good work and tracking back in the defensive positions. When we needed him there, he was there, and he really rifled that past Cueva Caliver. Brentford have to reset now after that very good start. Do Chelsea have it in them? Enzo Fernandez not fouling Coyote by the looks of it. Here is Coyote, who played Joao Pedro on side. Good pass between the lines. Again, Chelsea's midfield is vacant. Strike from distance. It's very comfortable. Straight down. Rob Sanchez. Again, Chelsea's midfield is really concerning. Damsgaard picks up the ball in the pocket. He's such a good strike on him. Chelsea have to do better. Yep, the sleeve of Coyote plays Joao Pedro on side. Foul there on Moises Caicedo, and Chelsea now just have to get into half-time with a clean sheet. Get that second goal and a bit of breathing room. Much needed. Need to put pressure on Manchester United and Liverpool. Spurs are still 1-0 down at home to West Ham. Liverpool 0-0 against Burnley at Anfield. Keith Andrews will be slightly disappointed in the manner in which the goal was conceded, but it was a ricochet. It was unfortunate. There's not much he could have done about that, Coyote, in terms of just trying to close him down, but Enzo Fernandez gets a fortuitous assist, but Joao Pedro with a thumping goal. Here's Garnacho down the left-hand side. Finds Marc Cucurella. Garnacho again. Will the goal now settle Chelsea? I really do hope so. Need to start dominating the ball and territory here. Tosin finds Rob Sanchez. Again, very much out of his goal. Acting as the auxiliary centre-half. And another long ball forward. Rico Henry with a short first touch on the run. Finds Kelleher. Is rendered powerless. That's a lovely touch there by Igor Thiago, finding Jensen. Marc Cucurella having served his 1-game suspension after that needless red card in the first half against Fulham. That was a real poor decision there, and now Chelsea cannot afford to let this one slip here. 15 minutes remaining in this first half. Ayer shifts the ball, well defended. Enzo Fernandez. He's been all action. Again, you can't fault his effort. And sometimes his quality, when he rushes things, becomes very frustrating to watch. Well, as it stands, Chelsea will leapfrog Brentford and be a point behind Manchester United and Liverpool. Liverpool not yet, but I'm expecting Liverpool to get the job done against Burnley at home. No pressure in the forward areas. Happy for Brentford to go long, which they will every chance they get. It's a risky tactic that the Chelsea forwards are adopting. Not putting pressure means the likes of Schade will make that run inwards. Henry will make the run down the left-hand side. And Brentford will try and create that overload in the middle. Critical from Chelsea's point of view to put pressure on the ball. And long punt forward. Joao Pedro giving chase. It's just about enough. Lovely touch. And Brentford are building out beautifully here. Here's Yaremchuk. Some of their players been shumpsus to watch. Here's Coyote. Shrugs off Cucurella's challenge. Here's Yaremchuk again. Finds Janelt. Again, very comfortable on the ball here, Brentford rather. Between the lines. Damsgaard shifts it onto the right-hand side. Here's Jensen. Cross comes in. It's a brilliant ball. Tosin gets his header on it. Rico Henry looks to just put that back into the area. Cucurella heads. Surely that's a high boot. Referee waves play on. Here's Coyote now. And this is excellent pressure here by Brentford. They have responded very well since going down a goal to Joao Pedro's fantastic strike. Oh, beautiful pass there by Jensen. The rotations are first class. Cross comes into the box. It's brilliantly claimed by Rob Sanchez. And some of their rotations has been first class. Enzo Fernandez trying to fizz that to Pedro Neto. It's another poor pass. Enzo has to keep the ball better. Here's Henry. Again looking for the cross in. Schade. Decent feed there by Jensen. Cucurella wins the ball back. Now Enzo Fernandez looks for Alejandro Garnacho, who is onside. Cucurella busting a gut to make that forward run, but been totally ignored. Enzo Fernandez, Joao Pedro on the turn. Brilliant from Joao Pedro. Come on, get the shot away. Joao Pedro, brilliant block. He's asking for a handball. He's not going to get it. Joao Pedro once again, silky feet. Oh, please don't be injured, Joao. We absolutely need him. Into the 35th minute here. 1-0. Courtesy that brilliant Joao Pedro strike. Again, that comes from just weak play in midfield, man. Enzo Fernandez has to be stronger. There's no way he can be bullied off the ball so easily. And in a matter of moments now, Brentford have a corner. Corner opportunity here. 10 minutes plus added on time remaining in this first half. Need Rob Sanchez's cross-claiming ability. Enzo and Shada in the fight. A left-footed ball into the box. Header is not on target. And it's out for a goal kick. Well, Shada is convinced that he was hauled back. And Shada is a two-handed push on Marc Cucurella. He'll pick up a yellow card. And Chelsea's defending in the box. Just a bit shoddy there. Just looking that maybe there are a few tugs on the shirt. Collins is convinced. Cucurella is still on the ground. Kevin Shada just lashing out. There's nothing in it. Cuckoo goes down like a ton of bricks. That's a good ball into the box. Whipped on the left foot. Sanchez is caught in no man's land. And all the Brentford players, when you go in tandem such as that, look at Trevor Chalobah. Oh, it is very risky. Enzo Fernandez's defending isn't convincing either. Very inexperienced from Chelsea. I mean, but these are our experienced players who are doing this. Trevor Chalobah, Enzo Fernandez. We expect better from them. Somehow escape. It's been a hard watch, but Chelsea somehow 1-0 up. Joao Pedro giving us that lead would have just calmed the surface down as Liam Rossinier passes on a few instructions to Alejandro Garnacho. Well, I'm sure Rossinier wouldn't be happy with this first half. You would have seen a lot of holes, a lot of improvements that can be made. Can Enzo read English? I'm not sure. But he gets the note, gives the thumbs up. It's got to be the positioning there. Cucurella with a high boot there. Could be a yellow card too because it's a high boot on Igor Thiago. Chelsea looking to pick up unnecessary fights here. I don't think that's a foul on Igor Thiago, but it just nips in there first, the centre forward. Chelsea need another one here as the insurance policy. All into the box again. They win the first header. Chance flicked on surely. 1-1. Oh, the post. Chelsea are so lucky. Janelt with the strike. That should have been 1-1. We're getting away with murder here. Brilliant ball in. Chelsea's defending at the far stick. Once again, non-existent. This is such a clever pass. Cucurella completely loses out. That hits the post. That should be 1-1. Cucurella nowhere near that. Sanchez roundly beaten. The post save us. And my word, this first half has been all kinds of shit. Brentford deserve a goal. We could have easily scored an own goal. And Janelt has to find the back of the net. Cucurella is defending poor. The number of poor performances that we have had in this first half. Look at Garnacho. He's struggling to fight the ball, to keep the ball. Enzo does well. Liam Rossinier needs to do something in the second half. This cannot carry on because if we come out of the same team, same instructions and same tactics, I fully expect Brentford to pull a goal or get a result here for sure. They've been excellent. They have popped us around that midfield area. We've been so poor. Here Shada on the left-hand side. Drifts in infield so easily here. Oh my word. Surely a foul there on Moy. Play goes on. Oh my word. Chelsea in real trouble again. Backstick straight. Chelsea's backstick defending. Somebody wake them up. Oh my goodness me, Yanel should have scored. It's just criminal, man. Absolutely criminal. Caicedo tries to dribble out of the tight area. He loses it. No foul. Look at this for back post defending. It's Reece James this time. James and Cucurella are both defensively so poor defending that ball at the far stick. This has been a nightmare first half. How? Just how are we 1-0 up here? Brentford deserves something. If this is the time under Liam Rosenior, this is going to be a hard watch. Not convincing whatsoever. 5 minutes plus added on time remaining in this first half. It's been shocking. Somehow we're 1-0 up. It's about time we try and scam wins. There's another ball in. Comfortably get. Look at Ayer's positioning, man. The centre half is happy. Oh, he loses out here. And now Joao Pedro waits for a bit of support. Cole Palmer. It's found Pedro Neto instead. That's a poor pass there by Joao Pedro. Pedro Neto does very well to fetch. Here's Neto. Caicedo. Reece James now. Reece James has barely had any influence in the match. Here's Garnacho down the left-hand side. He's up against Coyote. Garnacho on the outside. Gets the corner. Well, Garnacho's not had any 1v1 success against Coyote. He's very predictable, isn't he? Almost know which side he's going to go, let alone a Premier League fullback. Can Chelsea scam a goal before half-time? We need the cushion. We need breathing room because Keith Andrews will be telling his men this game is there to be won. Not just take a point, but they can certainly win this match. It's been that bad of a first half at the Bridge. Somehow we're surviving. Somehow we've got the goal. Can we get lucky here? Reece James's delivery has to be pinpointed.